Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So let's talk about the economy real quick. Again, I didn't get to get this video out yesterday because I was in Montana looking at some properties. I appreciate you guys sending over multifamilies and storage unit properties. I am underwriting those as fast as I can to try to find viable property. Thus far, that's proving a little bit hard. So we'll just keep looking. Eventually, we'll find one. We'll make a purchase and continue to move ahead. But let's talk about the economy. So we run over here. We take a look at this CNBC article. It's a couple weeks old, but you'll get the point and you'll see where I'm headed with this. Credit card debt in the US hits all-time high of $930 billion. Now, if you followed along this channel, you know that I talked about credit card debt back in September, October, where it was really starting to kick up, and I highlighted that that was going to be a major concern. Stand by that. We're starting to see continued validation of such things. If we run over here and we look at the zero hedge, losses accelerate for Goldman credit card division. That is Goldman Sachs, a mega bank. When the latest figures get added to next week, that cumulative loss will approach $4 billion in the 3-year span and $2 billion for the year, driven by loan loss provisions. Guys, Goldman is taking a just absolute beating on their credit card division. It is piling over into Goldman Sachs cutting 3,200 employees this week as Wall Street girds for a tough year. Guys, this is having rippling effects. The consumer is out of money. I know that the inflation data and the CPI is like, oh, it's coming way down. It's getting way better. Things are great. Don't get sucked in. We saw consumer sentiment spike on CPI. People want to believe that things are better because right now things are hard. So if you see something and and it's a spark of good news, you want to believe that everything's okay and you're going to get out of it. We're not there. We are not there at all. Car repossessions are on the rise, a warning sign for the economy. We've talked about it on this channel where banks are stabbing each other. We're already seeing them take losses in credit cards. I can't believe they're stabbing each other, but they're waiving the one-car auto loan provision. They're allowing people to buy a new car so that they can get origination fees and new loans going, knowing that people will default on the old car that is underwater and rapidly depreciating. Used car values are falling off a cliff. New car prices are coming down as well. Guys, this is all indications that the car industry is headed for just an absolute crisis. I think the car industry is really our new 2008. It's not the housing industry, in my opinion. So we run over here. Experts predict car prices will come down in 2023, coming out of Kansas City. Talk about the housing market and how terrible that is. December housing report. Inventory ends the year up 55%, but remains below historic levels. As we've talked about the housing market before as well, we still don't have the new Fed data, but we are historically low on inventory. We can't see prices really spike until we see inventory start to increase. It's basic supply and demand. We'll run over here to Twitter. This guy put out yesterday, housing is in trouble. There's a lot of housing experts on Twitter right now talking about the doom, the gloom, the end, the apocalypse. They all have recency bias, in my opinion, where they all want to keep referencing back to 2008. We're not in a 2008 type scenario. In 2008, we had strippers owning 7 and 8 homes. They were empty. They were just paying the mortgage. They were speculating. It was buy, find the greater fool, sell out, and make a profit. This market isn't that. These are people that moved into these homes. They had excellent credit scores. They were well capitalized. They were well funded. They now have low rates. Look at this tweet I put out yesterday in response. 20 plus likes already. Decent for me. 37 to 40% of homes are owned free and clear. Absolutely. Go look that up. Zillow will tell you 37%. It was 40 in 2019. So we're hovering around the same marker. Those older folks aren't looking to move. Investors with cash flowing properties aren't looking to sell. Most people are sitting on 3% loans, which they view as an asset. Absolutely. I stand behind all of that. People view that low interest rate as an asset. You can't move. The move up class is stuck. When you have a low payment, like what are you going to do? You can't move up and then take on a higher interest rate. and move to a new house. Those people aren't selling. There's no incentive for the people to put their house on the market. The people that absolutely have to sell will. I don't see a housing crash coming. I see a credit card and a used car market crash coming. Those are definitely coming, and they're both roughly trillion-dollar industries. If you're looking for the economic collapse, that's where it's going to come from. It's not coming from housing. If you're shopping for a house right now, what you have to choose from is going to be maybe not what you want. You're not going to have a lot to pick from. Just know that. Like, it's just not here yet. Housing may eventually drop. Typically, when interest rates go up, housing does drop. They call it the 10x rule. So for every 1% increase in mortgage rates, usually see a 10% drop in housing prices so that the payment stays roughly the same, because that's essentially what people are buying with a house is a payment. We're not seeing that this go around because the older folks and everyone else doesn't want to sell out of the house because they know they can't upgrade into anything else because it's so prohibitively expensive. The housing market fundamentally went through a change this time. Please don't use recency bias and try to justify that there's going to be this housing crash. We're just not seeing it in the real data. I know mainstream media and these YouTube, do me a favor too on the YouTube gurus. If a YouTube guru has a program, course, whatever that they're trying to sell you that you sign up for, click off of the channel. They are not your friend if they are selling you a course. God, I'm just seeing a plethora of this roll out and it aggravates me. But anyway, housing crash more than likely isn't going to be that. The government fixes problems when they see it, like they saw in 2008. The banks fix problems like that when they saw it in 2008. They don't like to get burned the same way over and over again. They won't get burned the same way over and over again. Used cars and credit cards right now are where you need to watch them, where you need to look out for. I think that's where we're going to see the economic crisis. Once people rack up enough debt on their credit card, they know they can't pay it back. They'll just continue to rack up debt until the piper comes home to pay the price. Why? Why not? No, I can't pay it back. Might as well rack it up and run it up. That's the mentality, and that's what we're dealing with. Credit cards, used cars, not housing. Anyway, continue to save your money, continue to pay off debt, do whatever you can to get out of variable rate debt into a fixed rate debt at a lower rate if you can. It's going to be really hard and challenging in today's environment. You can't try to pay off that variable rate debt. I don't see these rates going down for some time. Even if the Fed pivots, they don't want to go back to 0% money policy. Something catastrophic would absolutely have to break. If they do, inflation goes through the roof, forget it. Everything's off to the races. If they lower rates, housing prices go to the moon. Guys, it's bad out there. Be safe, navigate, be careful, and I'll catch you in the next one.